into the oil and gas industry, and then kind of talk about like how you guys came to Joltly and kind of how you guys found us. Point. Let's just start with some introductions.
You want to go first? Okay. My name is Airam Madrid, and this is actually my first job ever. I got out of high school from Pecos. I
Wow.
graduated, and I was a stay-at-home mom for quite some time, maybe 12 years.
Cool. I love that.
12 years staying at home, and
Yeah.
I went to my husband's old job, and well, here, he used to be a truck driver.
Okay.
This was just an easy in, learning everything from transport to the disposal, which was the oil and gas. And I've stayed here for since 2023,
Okay.
and I've learned like the disposal, how it works, the ticket
Okay.
entry, the Railroad Commission,
Yeah.
and
That's awesome. I love that.
yeah.
Okay. And Yvette, maybe a little bit of your background.
Hi, well, my name is Yvette Romo. I started working for Mac Resources in December of 2024.
Okay.
And this is actually my first oil and gas job. So
Okay.
I came in very green, not actually knowing a thing about it or about the disposal part. I do know quite a bit because of my husband. He's been there for 20 plus years in the oil, but it was nothing related to what we do here. So, I have lived in Pecos, Texas all my life. I was born and raised here, went to school here, raised my children here. And,
Okay.
now my grandkids are here. So
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. And what were you doing before oil and gas?
before oil and gas, I was working for H&R Block. I worked for them for 15 years. And then I left that job and I went to work for another transport company and I lasted there a year.
Cool.
And from there is where I met Junior. Well, I've known him before because everybody in Pecos knows everybody.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
used to go sign tickets for me and pick up checks from me. One day he was just talking about Mac Resources and he's like, I need to hire somebody. And I'm like, well, I'm interested. So that's how I ended up here.
Okay.
And I worked with her. We would talk by email.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's so fun.
Yes. She would, invoice me. And I didn't know face to the name till I started working here.
Okay. That's so fun. I think the next thing would be, how did you guys find Joltly? And then kind of what made you guys kind of look for Joltly in the first place?
Well, I have the answer for that one. So I started working here and Airam actually trained me on the disposal part, the Railroad Commission reports and all that good stuff. We were using a software that was very difficult to learn from.
And we'll keep it nameless. We won't say who it is.
Exactly. So this software required a whole lot of training, not just on the oil and gas part of it, but also on the accounting side of it, which they work hand in hand. We didn't have the training to utilize the program like we should have.
Yeah.
So I took it upon myself to start looking for something that I could use that was going to help me.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And just doing research, I came across Joltly as the #1 oil and gas program out there that we could integrate with QuickBooks. So I was like, that is the answer to my prayers right here.
Good.
So
Good.
that's when I contacted you guys, and then I brought you and talked it over with my bosses, and I said, look, you guys don't know how to use what we have. So this is what I want to use, and I just need the okay. And they said, do what you have to do. So here we are.
Okay, that's fantastic. So it sounds like it was a lot of work and it was pretty painful.
A lot of work and a lot of entry and a lot of figure it out yourself.
What does your guys' process look like? Like, how is it different now versus like how it was before?
Very easy and straight to the point. There wasn't so many steps to get to where we need to work.
Yeah.
Really.
Maybe go into detail into how you use Joltly and kind of what the software does and what that looks like.
Well, Joltly is really easy compared to the other software that we used to do.
Yeah.
Since it's fairly new that we're barely learning, I'm getting with Tyler to,
To get everything to work. Yeah.
to get everything to work, which has been so amazing. It's easier to do the process of the ticket entries, getting the total barrels on our reports that we need for the Railroad Commission has been easier than the other process that we used to do. Overall, I can't say it's, not even, I have no complaints over it, honestly. It's
Yeah.
just been an amazing program
Well, and
with everything.
high level kind of, so before you guys were getting these field tickets, right?
Yes.
And you guys had to manually enter the data from it. But what we're doing for those field tickets now is where you guys are uploading those field tickets into bulk, into Joltly, and then we're parsing that data for you. So instead of having to manually enter it, we're taking those field tickets. The LLM reads all that data for you, and then we give it to you, and we just have you guys check and make sure that the LLM parsed the data correctly. And then from that data, we're taking that and preparing that Texas Railroad Commission statement. So we're eliminating all of that manual entry that you guys were doing before.
Yes.
And we're just taking that and giving it to you in a way where you guys, it's kind of, you're more of a role of like a supervisor where you're just making sure that it did it all correctly. And then if you need to make any changes, and then you're preparing that for submission. And Tyler, maybe you can speak to a second to kind of what your process was like working with these guys and taking their feedback on how they were doing things before to getting into a more automated process.
Yeah. Well, we have such experienced users like Yvette and Airam, it made the process for developing it very easy, very straightforward, because the feedback they had was quick, great, and honest. A lot of it was just trying to understand how it was done before, because it wasn't obvious with this other software exactly what was what, getting all the different pieces of the process. And so Airam and Yvette were, crucial in getting that built out because they understood it very, very well. Because without them explaining it as they did, trying to go through that other software was kind of difficult to understand the different aspects that were being used. And it just seemed unnecessary, a lot of it. So,
Yes, it was.
Too many steps to go to what we needed to work on, really.
yeah, a lot of unnecessary steps. Was that your question or?
Yeah, that was perfect. That was perfect. I think the main goal is just like understanding scope of like how things were done before and how they're doing now. And I think Yvette and Airam, I think I was kind of thinking about like next steps in the future. Like as you guys, if you guys were like an oil and gas operator, like looking at Joltly, switching from like the old processes that you guys were doing before to now, like what advice would you give them and looking at like switching providers and like what to be looking for?
You want to go first? You go first.
I think that if I was the oil and gas company, I would want, exactly what we have right now because, we actually designed it with you guys. This is what we need and this is how we need it to work. And we need to be time efficient. That's very important is time efficiency.
Yep.
That's got to be a plus. And accuracy. I guess those are the top two because with Railroad Commission, there's no room for errors, honestly. If there's an error and we need to correct it, we have a time frame. And if it's not approved within that time, then there's penalties to be paid.
Right.
So first of all, it is the entry's got to be correct. Once it's uploaded and it autofills, then that's where, Airam has been the one that's looking over to make sure it picked up everything correctly. Produce the invoice it, and from there produce the P-18s.
Perfect. And for context of anybody watching this, so Joltly does a few things. It does some revenue automation, some AP automation, but specifically for you guys, the use case was how do we automate our saltwater disposal? And so that's what we've been working with you guys with directly is automating reports for the Texas Railroad Commission.
Yes.
Airam, did you have something you wanted to add?
No, really, that was basically to the point what Yvette had mentioned about accuracy, on time.
Yeah.
Even the P-18s. And for me, I would recommend, same thing what she said, like exactly what you have for a disposal, because I think we covered all of the points that we need for Joltly to run a disposal on, to run the P.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would recommend any other oil and gas to get you guys because, you were very thorough on what we needed. You took a lot of our ideas and what we needed under consideration with everything that, we provided with you guys. Your quick responses with Tyler. Kudos to Tyler.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And patience, because oh my gosh, it was, it was crazy. And we needed to get these P-18s on a timely manner. And y'all did just that. Y'all did above and beyond, honestly.
I do want to add
Go ahead.
something
Yvette.
else to
Yeah,
that.
please.
I think what I do appreciate a whole lot from you guys is that this is not a cookie cutter software. This is personalized to what we need. And I think
Yeah.
any oil company would appreciate that. You
Yeah.
know, we gave you what we needed. The specs were done perfectly and it's working to what we need. We don't have a lot of things in there that we don't need that are
Yeah.
just and they're useless and it's just taking up room and steps we need to skip. It's, you know, if you want something personalized to what you are exclusively doing, you guys can do it. And you
Yeah.
have proven that and that's
Well,
what we have. That's what we have created.
well, I think that's kind of the beauty of where software is right now too, is like we can take a problem set from an operator and work with them to have an AI solution that automates their workflows. And that's what we essentially did for you guys. Is you guys came to us like, hey, like we need here's the criteria of what we need to be built. Let's automate this back office. And we were able to come back to you guys and say, hey, like here's what we think we can do. We think we can automate these parts of the statements, automate these workflows, and make your guys a lot easier. And just want to say, like, thank you guys for taking the time to chat. I know you guys, like, your lunch break is sacred time. So thank you for taking some time out of that. But I think that's everything we needed to cover. I just wanted to put a face to a story. That's like the most impactful when we're talking to our other customers, as they can see like the experiences of other people we've worked with. So you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time. Tyler or Airam, do you guys have anything you guys want to add before we finish up?
I just want to say thank you for all the hard work you've put in to personalize our software. And it's been amazing. And it's been great working with y'all, you know, designing it. You know, we've laughed,
Yeah.
you know, it's been good. It's been a good time.
The confetti. Oh my God. I love it.
The fun mode. Yeah.
Yes.
You're one of the few people who implemented fun mode. That's great.
Yeah. Yes. As soon as I saw it, Tyler immediately noticed, oh, you're using the fun. I was like, yes, I am, because I love it. And I loved how y'all added more colors to it and the clicky thing.
That's so funny.
I love it. It makes working a little bit more, you know, bearable and fun and spunky. And
Who knows?
I enjoyed it.
Maybe
enjoyed
we'll
it.
close more deals with fun mode.
I was dubious. This is all Harrison's idea, by the way. It was all him. And
He
then,
gave you the credit.
yeah,
Well, I love it, Harrison. Thank you so much.
I get it now. It's you know, he made some improvements recently, and it kind of is fun actually.
Well, the funny thing is, like, the goal of like everything we've built is like, okay, like let's look at oil and gas software today, and how do we be the exact opposite of everything oil and gas software has been for the last 25 years? I was like, I think we could put a fun mode in just to show that, just to remind people that like we're different, like we're approaching software differently.
Definitely.
I love it.
So that's awesome. That's fun. I love that you guys did that. Okay.
Thank you.
Go, Ty, go ahead.
No, I just want to say, I appreciate working with you guys. You guys have been real easy to work with, real fun to work with. I love the Teams chat we have going on. And this is in no way that we're doing this call right now mean that we're done supporting this or there's nothing else for us to do. We're constantly looking for ways to make it better and make it, an easier experience for you. So this was just something that we wanted to, again, like Harrison said, put a face to the project, face to the name. And so we appreciate you guys doing this.
Enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. This is, the first time I do something like this. So I was like very nervous about it. We were like
different.
yeah, we've never done this. And I said, this is the first time we did both of us, first time oil and gas work, first time, designing something with you guys and first time.
Because it was a little nerve-wracking at first because, they've had that software for probably in the beginning that they started
2015,
Yeah. So over 10 years.
Yes.
And we appreciate you guys taking a chance. And I think it will pay out. I think it is paying out for you. I think it will as well. So.
Okay. All righty, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see ya.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Y'all have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.